You're listening to Nice-ish, a podcast about reality TV and your opinions, with your hosts, Cindy and Grace. Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 31 of Nice-ish. I'm here with my co-host, Grace. How are you, Grace?
I'm good. I know that you're not that great, though, unfortunately.
I have been at war with Hot Topic and the shipping service they used, OnTrack. I'm going to get to that in a second. But first, I want to say that we are dedicating this episode of Nice-ish, episode 31, to my good buddy, Barefoot Contessa. We met on Twitter a couple years ago, really hit it off, both moved to Blue Sky. She's super funny, and she gets a lot of trolls, I will say, because she is very honest with her opinions, and some people just can't take it. So she's swatting them left and right with that fly swatter. And I just want to say, never stop, never stopping. Fight the fight. Also, I want to mention Married to Medicine. We have been struggling with how to include Married to Medicine.
Yeah, it's really hard because it's honestly one of, if not our favorite show.
Yeah.
And it just really sucks with how we're doing our podcast because it comes out on Mondays and it's literally Sunday night at 9.
Right. And so with both of us working, with Christmas around the corner, with the podcast coming out on Mondays, we have not had time for Married to Medicine. In fact, we didn't even watch last week's episode, and this week's episode aired tonight. It's Sunday night.
Right.
And we're 2 episodes behind. So we made the decision, unfortunately, that we can't cover Married to Medicine, at least not right now.
Mm-hmm. It's just too hard. We're going to just stick to the Housewives that are on right now and keep going with that.
And we're hoping maybe after the new year, if we can squeeze it back in, we're going to try.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just not working out. And it's really hard to do 2 podcasts a week.
I know it is. And you would think it's not that hard. It's like, oh, you just have to record your voice. But it's like, no, then you got to edit all this and you got to make time for it all.
Well, you have to prepare, too.
Yeah, and it's hard, yeah.
We just don't have the time. So, for now, rest in peace, Married to Medicine.
And now back to your on-track grievance that you have.
Okay. On Black Friday, I ordered a bunch of stuff for you for Christmas from Hot Topic.
Prezzies.
Yes. 4 things in particular from Hot Topic. And I got the shipping notification that they would be delivered on December 2nd. Mm-hmm. Today is what?
Today is the 15th.
Okay, today is the 15th. They were supposed to be delivered on the 2nd.
Yeah.
When that did not happen, I thought, okay, sometimes, they're off. It's not like this is the week before Christmas. This is like literally still, early. And waited. And then on the 5th, I got a notification saying it was going to be delivered on the 5th. Mm-hmm. Like, okay. Then they update their tracking saying it wasn't delivered because of a weather emergency. So I go on the website, type in the tracking, and the tracking shows that it literally is 1 town over from us, 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
And I'm like, weather emergency? What the fuck are you talking about? Our weather's fine.
Right.
But there's nobody really to contact, so I ignored it. I thought, okay, I'm going to wait. Then they update it that it's going to come on the 6th, then the 7th, then the 8th. On the 9th, they say that there's another weather emergency and another delay.
Yeah.
And I kind of lost it.
Yes.
And so I reached out to OnTrack on Twitter and wrote them privately. And between Tuesday and Sunday, I have spoken to 9 different people
Seriously,
all of them
yeah.
said the same exact thing. We are so sorry you've been inconvenienced. Please give me a couple days to figure out where your parcel is.
Right.
And I keep saying, that doesn't work for me. I know where the parcel is. It says it's here. I'm giving you the tracking. Why isn't anybody contacting the warehouse there and like, where's the package? Why do you keep updating it, telling me that it's there, but no one's delivering it?
Yeah.
So then I contact Hot Topic. It did not go well in the beginning.
Yeah.
They are saying, Cindy, you need to wait 48 hours before I can do anything. And I said, why? Well, we need to make sure that they don't get delivered. And I said, so you're worried I'm going to get 2 orders when I've got nothing?
Yes. That's exactly it, though. It's like basically they're worried about you stealing merchandise. And it's like, I can't steal anything that I don't have. Like, this is...
I'm not getting too much. I'm getting nothing.
Yeah.
So I said no. And he's kind of like, what? And I'm like, Clifford, no, that doesn't work for me.
Right.
What I want is I want you to send me replacements today because I've waited 10 days up until that point. Now it's over 2 weeks, but I've waited 10 days and you're telling me to wait 2 more days for what?
Oh, I know.
And then Clifford caved and he said, okay.
Right.
So he goes in and looks, and exactly what I was afraid was going to happen was one of the items was out of stock. The one that I think you wanted most.
Yeah.
So he comes back and says, I can send you 3 of the items and I can refund you for the 4th. And we can hope that the package gets delivered. So I'm like, fine. You know, that's not what I want. I don't want a refund, but fine, we'll do that. So he allegedly sends the items to me.
Yeah.
Well, several days later, I get 2 of the 3. And I look it up, and the 3rd one wasn't included. And then there's a separate tracking for it that was set up 4 days prior, but UPS still didn't have it.
Yeah.
They did use UPS, by the way. They didn't use this fucking OnTrack garbage site, which I will trash till the day I die.
Well, and nobody's ever heard of it.
Oh, no. People have heard of it on Twitter, and they all hate it.
Yeah.
I got a lot of replies saying that they are garbage. Somebody told me to check the gutter.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Like, have you checked the gutter? Because they threw mine over my fence.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, lovely. I'm so pissed now. So he sends that out. I get 2 of the 3. So now I'm still missing 2 items. I'm missing the first package, which had all 4. Yeah. Which the guy at OnStar, I'm sorry, Grace, one of them were these slippers that you wanted so badly. And I swear to God, the clerk at OnTrack or whatever, I said OnStar, I think. The clerk at OnTrack is probably wearing them in their office right now. That's how fucking cute they were. So I get 2 of the 4. Yeah. So I contact Hot Topic again. And I'm like, what's going on? Why didn't I get the other one? Yeah. This guy was so nice because I had stopped at my own Hot Topic store locally, and the guy knows us. He's so great. Yeah. He called them, and he's doing everything he can. He asked me to wait in the store. I was probably there 20 minutes while he went in the back trying to find everything for me, and he couldn't find anything. Yeah. But so this other guy online gave me the runaround at first. Yeah. I was like, I can't do anything. And I said, it has been 2 weeks. Are you seriously going to tell me I have to wait longer? Yeah. And he's like, no, I'm not.
I know. Like, the other guy already stole my joy. Please, please don't take it away again.
He told me that he was going to send the one remaining item express, and I would get an email from that.
Yes. Have you received an email?
I have not. Not yet, although it was Saturday, Sunday. Okay. But I'm hoping that goes through on Monday and that we get the last remaining item express. But I don't know what to say. Oh, I know what I want to say.
I know.
I'm going to read my last remaining correspondence with OnTrack.
Okay.
From my messages.
Well, it's funny that you say OnStar because I'm thinking that's for accidents and things like that. So that
this was a car
they might
crash.
need it. Yeah.
So my last correspondence with them, which was today, said, this is me.
Yeah.
9 different people have messaged in this thread claiming to help me locate my missing parcel. It was last scanned in our city, New York, 15 minutes from my house. Every single day, your website updates telling me it's going to be delivered that day, and it never comes. It has been 2 weeks. I know this is pointless because no one on this thread has ever come back with any information of any kind, but these were gifts for my kid, so I'm going to keep trying. If you reply with an apology for the delay and that you're working on it diligently, I'll know that this is bullshit and no one was ever going to help me in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
That was my last message. I included a picture of their website with the tracking in it, showing that it has been updated for the 19th time.
I love that every time that you would write them too, because it would say a weather delay, that you would send a picture outside of that they're being fine. Like it was sunny outside.
Yeah, I did do that. This is their reply to me. Hi. Unfortunately, OnTrack is unable to confirm control of your package at this time. Due to the unconfirmed status, please contact your seller for further assistance. Bye, bitch, is basically what it says.
Well, I know. And it's like, we can't confirm your package. We had it, but now we can't confirm it. So contact the seller.
How can you do that?
I don't know how you can.
How can you just throw the liability off yourselves and give it to who I bought it from when they gave you the package? You picked it up.
Right. And you had it.
That blows my mind.
Right.
Fuck these people. And the slippers that they're wearing that are yours, because they are yours.
I know. They're rightfully mine.
This lasted longer than the actual podcast, this whole story. And I'm sorry, but I had to get that out because I am trying to let it go. Mm-hmm. Your package is gone. It's not coming.
Yeah.
I want it to come, but I have to kind of accept the fact that I need to stop checking the website every day because it just upsets me.
Right. And that people are garbage and that somebody stole it.
Yes.
Because that's what happened.
I actually accused them of stealing it. Maybe that's why I stopped getting help. I don't know. At one point, I'm like, you keep saying that you don't know where it is. Well, I know where it is. It's in, bumfuck New York. And the guy walking around my package stole it. But,
Right. Well, you want to know what was funny, too, is that you asked me, you're like, well, where is this place so I can find it? And really, I couldn't find, like, an exact location, like, for this warehouse.
You found an address.
I found an address, but honestly, though, it was hard to find. It was not just, like, a simple Google search. I had to kind of like look around. So maybe it's there, maybe it's not. Well, it's literally like a kiosk in the mall that you buy something from and then, it's gone.
They're gone the next day.
You don't know. Is it going to be there? I'm not sure.
Well, we used Google Earth and we found it and I'm like, I want to go. Mm-hmm. And you said to me, I don't want to get shot in the back of the head. I don't think we should go. I don't feel safe.
Because I don't think it's a real place. I said, I think OnTrack is probably like a acronym for either like a mafia group or something because this is not up to par.
Yeah. And I would have just walked in there like, okay, who the fuck has my slippers?
You, the bitch behind the counter, let me see your shoes.
So smarter heads prevailed, yours, and we did not go. I wanted to go. I still want to go. But we're not going to. Mm-hmm. And, one less gift, possibly 2 less gifts for you Christmas morning. But, we'll see.
Hopefully they eventually come back in stock, though, and we can just order them again because I'm going to hold you to the gift even though it didn't come.
They were bluey. They were bluey slippers. They were super cute. Bingo on one foot, bluey on the other. But the cute thing was they actually had rubber soles. They were like, you could wear out if you wanted to. Mm-hmm. Similar to like an UGG type thing. Yeah, they're very similar to those $150 Uggs. Except they didn't cost that much. But still, I didn't want the refund. I wanted the slippers. I bought them in time. I did something right.
Yeah, I know.
And I got screwed over.
It sucks when it's not your fault. Like, it's not anything that you did.
Yeah.
It's everything everybody else did.
I know. I did everything right. I was early. I got the discount. Damn it.
So sorry.
All right. Let's move on.
Yes.
I need to desperately move on.
Yeah, not from this conversation, just in general.
Yes.
Like,
yes. I will move on.
Okay. Let's talk about this week's episode of Beverly Hills.
Okay.
The episode picks back up with Kyle and Dorit fighting at the dinner table in Oceanside. They're on their trip there. And Dorit says that when Kyle is mad at her, she will punish her and not talk to her for months. And Kyle actually acknowledges this. She says, yes, I do that. I mean, I'm shocked that she admitted to doing that. Are you shocked that she did?
Yeah, she admitted it to her, and I think she admitted it to Sutton, too.
Well, yeah, we'll get to... Yeah, Sutton does mention it as well. She says that she's like, I've been a victim of her icing me out. So basically, I get what you're feeling.
Well, I think the first step to recovery is admitting you have a problem. So
basically, it's just Kyle and Dorit kind of going back and forth. Kyle says that there were little things that built up for her. I'm not really sure what exactly, even though she explained them before, I still doesn't really make sense to me. Mm-hmm. Then Dorit says that, yeah, Kyle can make jokes, but she can't, or she'll get iced out. She'll get really, really pissed. And it's funny because later in this episode, Kyle does take a jab at Dorit, and I get exactly what she's saying here.
Oh, okay.
So I'll mention it later when we get to it. But then Dorit proceeds to mention Erica. And I think Dorit thought by doing this that she would help her argument. And even if it did, I didn't think it was very cool to throw her under the bus like that. She's friends with both of you. Mm-hmm. So it's probably not great. But Dorit asks Kyle about what Erica had said on Watch What Happens Live, and basically about at the reunion that she hoped everybody got the same level, that she got. Mm-hmm. And if Dorit had said something like that Kyle would be pissed, but she's not pissed at Erica. So there's just like a level of not fairness that she holds Dorit to a higher standard. Do you think that Kyle does that?
Well, I think Kyle said that Erica actually apologized for it and said I shouldn't have said that, or that I didn't mean it the way some are taking it. And I think Kyle was more understanding to that.
Well, yeah, because Kyle actually said both. First, she said, I understood what she meant. And then she said she apologized for it. So I don't know if she even really was mad about it. But I think that there is a level with Dorit and Kyle where they seem to pick at each other a little bit. And sometimes it's tolerated, sometimes it's not, clearly.
I will say, though, Erica's kind of always been a badass, and Dorit has pulled back a lot. So maybe Kyle thought, I don't really want Erica coming at me. I don't feel like I can handle Erica coming at me.
Yeah.
But she felt like, she could handle Dorit.
So yeah, like we mentioned earlier too, Sutton jumps in and says that she's like, I've been a victim of Kyle and that she ices people out, and we've actually talked about it. And she's like, that's something that she has to work on. She can't do that anymore. And she mentions that this is the angriest she's ever seen Dorit, like in 5 years of knowing her, which I would actually agree with too. I have never seen Dorit this mad and hurt.
The only time I can think of is when they were on that boat in Thailand and her and Erica were kind of going at it, weren't they?
Yeah.
But I would agree. She's pissed and she's not really listening much because she's so angry. I'm Team Dorit on this, though. I feel like, at some point you just get so tired and fed up that you snap, and nothing the person can say, even an apology sometimes doesn't work because you just need for them to hear what you're saying.
Right. So Kyle apologizes to Dorit for icing her out and saying what she said on Amazon Live about how they aren't that close. And this is really weird to me too, because Kyle got pissed at Dorit for saying that her and Teddy weren't that close. And then you say the same thing about Dorit, that we're not that close, and then expect her not to be pissed.
Wow, that's an excellent point. I never even thought about that.
I'm not getting it. So your reasoning does not make sense as to why you're mad at her. Clearly there is something that she did. One thing. I think it's literally one thing. I don't know what it is.
You need to message your buddy Dorit and say, this is the point you need to make at the reunion.
Yes.
And I would love to hear Kyle answer that.
I'll send her, when I send her a message, I will send her the photo of us together from BravoCon. Yes. Be like, see, I have your back.
Yes. I have your back, and I am helping you. You need to use this.
Yes.
Please do that.
So then Dorit apologizes for showing and reading the text message on camera to Erica. And then Dorit sort of kind of gives an apology for the BravoCon joke she made. She says, I'm sorry that it hurt you, but kind of not in the way that Kyle felt was genuine. It was a little like, you know, like a sorry you feel that way type deal, you know? And here's where Garcelle kind of jumps in, and she just says that she agrees with Kyle that Dorit doesn't apologize and like doesn't mean it.
I have seen Garcelle hate like from the very beginning, and I didn't really subscribe to it.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was warranted. Uh-huh. But I will say, and I don't hate Garcelle. I get she's a little boring, but I mean, I don't dislike her.
Right.
But she definitely has a hard-on for Dorit. I mean, she doesn't let up on her, and I think no matter what Dorit says, she would choose the other side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so too. Which is weird because I'm not sure how she became friends with Kyle. Because in the very, very beginning, when her first season, she couldn't stand Kyle, and she would like name her fishes, and she's like, "Oh, that boring one is Kyle."
It's that's funny. Yeah, I remember that. No, it's more the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah, that's true. So that dinner ends with Dorit leaving, and then they all get up and leave. Mm-hmm. And the next morning, they're getting ready to go on a boat or a yacht, and all the women are getting ready, and Jennifer Tilly said that she enjoyed Dorit and Kyle's fight.
I actually remember making a note of that because I thought it was so funny. She is us.
Yeah. Oh, I enjoyed it. Yeah. Like if I'm not in it, I'll enjoy it.
Right. She actually had a plate there so she could eat and watch.
It was so funny.
It's like, dinner theater.
So that was funny. And then also Kyle mentions that Kathy asked her if she had an extra toothbrush, and she didn't. So she polished her teeth with an eyeshadow brush.
That is so disgusting.
Like all brushes and
they showed her.
Interchangeable or something.
They showed her doing it.
Yes.
That was so gross.
So remember when you had asked me last week if you thought Kathy was, if that's really truly who she is?
Yeah, if she's genuine.
Yes. She 100% is this weird, and probably actually more weird than we even know.
Yeah.
Because
probably.
I don't know that they would have showed her with the eyeshadow thing if Kyle didn't mention it.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's a little too out there for me.
It is a little out there. So a really nice conversation was had between Kyle and Dorit, where Dorit tells Kyle that she just really had to get her feelings out and just get it off her chest, and that she loves her and does not hate her. And Kyle starts crying, and they both apologize again to each other. So I thought that was productive.
I think any conversation is productive if it ends with an apology to somebody, if it's needed or warranted. So yeah, I'm all for apologies.
So I hope by the end of this season that they end up in a decent place, because I don't really want this to be the season of the two of them. I can deal with the half season. Half season's fine.
Right. And the whole reunion, let's hope it's not,
right,
that as well.
So the women all get to dinner, and then Garcelle calls out Dorit for reposting a post that Teddy tagged Dorit in on Instagram. And it was of Kyle, Dorit, Teddy, and they were singing with John Mellencamp at his concert. They were all on stage. And Garcelle says that Dorit said she wasn't friends with Teddy last night, which we get a flashback and we actually know that's not the case.
Right.
Dorit specifically said, I'm not close with her, but we are friends.
Right.
And I think what Dorit meant too is we're not close. Like, who's as close as Kyle and Teddy?
Right.
Nobody's going to be as close as the two of them. So I think that was literally the point. We're friends. I don't think there was anything wrong with what Dorit said.
No, I don't either. Kyle made the same mistake. Oh, now you're not friends with her? She never said that. She never said they weren't friends. And she doesn't have to be friends with her anyway. She doesn't have to be friends with your friends.
Right.
But they're literally making up shit because that didn't happen.
But yeah, I thought this was a pointless thing to bring up. It doesn't go anywhere. I didn't understand the point of it. So earlier when we were talking, I had said to you that Kyle does make jabs at Dorit. And here's one of them. Kyle makes a jab here in her confessional saying, does Rock and Roll Hall of Famer John Mellencamp really need Dorit's support on Instagram? I mean, these are the type of things that Dorit is talking about. If she did it to her, she would be super pissed. But Kyle can do whatever, she wants to Dorit and it's fine.
Yeah, I agree. It's a complete double standard and she's a total hypocrite.
I also don't get what Garcelle was doing here either. I don't get the point. Either they didn't hear her say that she was friends with Teddy, or they just... Did nobody hear it? Because nobody said anything.
No,
at
but
all.
they've showed that clip multiple times.
Yes.
That flashback of her saying that she's friends, not close friends.
So you had posted on Blue Sky, Dorit said she wasn't close with Teddy. Not that they weren't friends. Garcelle, give it a rest. And you had gotten a response back from @AuntBotsy62, who said, Garcelle stirs the pot, but not in a fun way. And this post really actually resonated with me because it's not that I don't like Garcelle, but it's this. It's everything that she does to either be messy isn't fun.
Right.
And it just comes off as pointless. And like, what was the point of saying this?
I totally agree. I don't think it's funny or fun. I think it's just to take a jab. And there's a huge difference between messy, funny shade and mean jabs.
Well, and it's not even like on Salt Lake where Bronwyn literally was super messy in front of Brittany's face and just outed her, like right there on the spot.
Right.
I mean, I laughed at that. And I don't even necessarily mind mean all the time.
Right.
Because that's terrible to do.
Yeah.
Literally,
I agree.
You just threw her under the bus. But it just doesn't serve a purpose what you're doing. You just are doing it because you're not a fan of her and you don't like her.
Garcelle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. Bronwyn did it, but she was outing Brittany, and it was all very funny. I totally agree. Garcelle can't stand Dorit, and any chance she gets to make a dig or agree with someone who's up against Dorit, she'll do it. And it's not messy. It's just annoying.
I know. It's just like, get over it. You don't have to, do this constantly to her. And it's not even a big deal. The fact that I don't care about what you're saying is not great.
Yeah.
So after we get that out of the way, Sutton does this weird speech and ribbon thing at dinner where they tie their hands together in friendship.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, Sutton.
I'm a little old for that.
Yeah, I know. But the episode ends with the women leaving in the Sprinter van, and Sutton calls out Erica for whispering to Kyle at dinner last night when Dorit was talking. She was just kind of like, did she say that? I don't think she said that. Like, she couldn't remember if she had said that Teddy and them were friends. Mm-hmm. And Sutton's point is that we should all be able to talk freely and openly when we see something that we don't like. Well, Dorit didn't really take it as that, and she kind of took it as a personal attack on her for what she said about Teddy. Mm-hmm. So it kind of got... The whole conversation, I think, was a misunderstanding here. But I think Dorit is on this, like, thin rope here. Like, she's ready to fight with everybody. It's Kyle, it's PK, it's whoever. So if you're going to be next.
I'm kind of feeling it. I'm feeling angry Dorit. I find it interesting.
Yeah, maybe because we don't see that a lot of the time from her. She's usually just kind of like there.
Yeah.
Well, what looks fantastic is the sneak peek for next week. This might have been one of my favorite parts of the episode. It was the sneak peek. Because we see that Kyle is throwing a country-themed party, or country-themed party, at her house. And Camille is at the party and tells Dorit that she has always been condescending to her. I'm like, oh my God, shut the fuck up, Camille. Who cares? And Dorit proceeds to call her a cunt. Again, for the second time.
Oh my God.
You had posted on Blue Sky, Dorit to Camille, you've always been a cunt to me. And Dorit gets a pass for the rest of the season.
Yep.
And we have a reply from @BarefootCuntessa, which is perfect for this, that just wrote life with clapping hands. And yes.
A pass for life.
Yes. I'm ready. I am so ready to see this because I cannot stand Camille anymore. I don't know why she's around anymore.
I don't know. What's the point of bringing her back every season for like 2 episodes?
Yeah, I know. I don't care. It's not this fun cameo. Like I don't need it.
Nobody wants it.
No.
Well, I shouldn't say nobody. There's got to be some people out there that like her, but I can't stand her. I find she acts super superior, and I'm not a fan.
Which is super funny because that's what she's going to accuse Dorit of doing to her. But yeah, I agree with you. I think that as well. So yeah, next week looks good. I can't wait. It's going to be fun.
So this week's episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City starts with Mar and her family discuss...
Mar. Is that like literally her name from now on? Because I love it.
I love it too. So I mean, Sean is an idiot, and so we're just going to go with it. So it starts with Mar and her family discussing what happened at her bat mitzvah, and Angie and Sean discussing it as well. But we aren't really going to talk about it. We're going to jump right into Mary going over to Angie's home and confiding in her that Robert Jr. has an addiction.
Yeah.
And again, I cried my eyes out.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I'm a mother.
Yeah.
And you just love your kid that much that you don't want to see him hurt. And Mary is so open about all of this. And it's just so moving to me.
Well, I thought this was really big of Mary to share it with Angie because I wasn't sure if she was going to tell anybody on the cast or not.
Right.
I mean, normally I think it would have been Meredith, but right now they're a little iffy.
Right.
So I thought her telling Angie was really great, and I think it was a way for her to talk about it with someone. She really doesn't have anyone.
She doesn't have anyone. She said she didn't have anyone. And Angie experienced something similar with her mother. And I don't know if it was drugs. I do think it was depression, wasn't it?
I think it was that and alcohol, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it wasn't a drug thing, but, similar. But
so she just has her own perspective on it, and I think it was really good for Mary to hear.
Well, I remember seeing this at the beginning of the episode and thinking, oh my God, please don't let this be like a flashback to like us seeing Angie tell somebody, because Mary was like, please don't tell anybody. So that did not happen.
No,
so thank God it didn't. But I remember seeing it and thinking, oh geez, please don't let that be the case.
Well, it is the reason why Mary's going to be late on the trip to Mexico. She wants to make sure that Robert is settled and all of that.
Yeah.
So the women arrive at the airport, and we get our first petty moment of the episode when Bronwyn gives all the women bedazzled passport holders as gifts.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's petty is because Lisa's hosting the trip, and Bronwyn had called her and said, do you mind if I give everyone gifts? And Lisa's like, yeah, I'm bringing gifts, so just show up. And then what does she do? Bronwyn brings gifts. Yeah.
I thought that probably wasn't a great move. If Lisa specifically told you not to, and then you do, it's not like Lisa was like, you can if you want, you don't have to. Right. I'm going to bring gifts because I'm hosting, but it's up to you. Then that's fine, whatever. Right. But she literally told you not to.
So this is just one more little thing in the constant fight of Bronwyn and Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not on the same page with anything. So while they're all standing there, Bronwyn shares that she was at the dog park with her dogs and was attacked. It was bad.
Yeah, holy shit. She lifted up her dress or skirt and it was like bruised and just terribly. It was...
Yes, she had bites all over her arms and legs, multiple bites, stitches, apparently 37 separate bites.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Pretty awful.
Yeah, that is.
Someone did a deep dive, and I saw their TikTok, and they said that the dog was actually a foster dog.
Mm-hmm.
And the person wrongfully went in their car to take a phone call, left the dog there, and Bronwyn, who is a dog lover, went over, let the dog sniff her, get comfortable, but then she reached to pet the dog, and the dog attacked.
Ugh.
And I guess the dog had medical issues too and stuff. So Bronwyn said she might have handled the situation wrong in trying to hold the dog. But look, when you are being attacked, you do what you have to do. I don't blame Bronwyn whatsoever for anything she did.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it literally attacked you. So whatever you did when you were getting attacked,
right?
I'm not going to. Of course, you're going to flail or move or whatever,
or try to hold it or try to get it off.
Yeah, I would find that hard to believe that somebody wouldn't do that. That's not your first reaction.
Well, then we come to find out that she actually paid for all the medical issues for this foster dog and found it a proper home.
Wow.
So she did not have it destroyed. She did not sue the person. None of that. She is such a dog lover that she went the opposite direction and tried to help. So I got to say I have a little bit of mixed feelings on it. I do think that shows how much she loves dogs, but but a dog that attacks someone 37 times, I'm not sure is fit to be around people. Through no fault of its own, it was probably abused.
Yeah, right.
And the whole thing is sad, and nobody likes to think of the consequences of what would happen if, you took it to a shelter or whatever, but I just don't know how safe that dog is.
Yeah, I know. I mean, for 37 bites, holy shit. I mean, that is a lot.
So the women arrive in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and Lisa assigns villas. Lisa puts in one villa, her, Mar, Heather, and Brittany. And then in the other villa is Angie, Whitney, Bronwyn, and then Mary when she comes. And Bronwyn is kind of furious and says, okay, Lisa's sending me a message. And I have to say there was a kind of a funny confessional with Whitney, who's like, Brittany is so stupid that she thinks Lisa likes her and wants to room with her. But instead, it's literally the ultimate diss to Bronwyn.
Yeah.
And Brittany doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't get it, Brittany. Lisa is so pissed at Bronwyn that she would stay with you instead.
Yeah. Because we all can't stand you, but you're just like an annoyance. We don't all hate you, but it's just, I guess, like, well, actually, Bronwyn hates her and Angie hates her too. So,
yeah.
But nobody is a fan of Brittany. Nobody really likes her at all.
So I'd made a post. I love Bronwyn, but is she being a bit oversensitive? I mean, she's literally pissed off everyone. Maybe this will show her not to overshare. And there were two posts that I found interesting. The first one is from @Nigel Campbell at Blue Sky, who said, I like that Bronwyn tells everyone how she feels. Even when I don't fully agree with her, I appreciate the transparency and it feels honest.
Oh, well, that's true. I do agree with that. Yeah, even if you're not necessarily 100% in her opinion, she is honest. Yeah, I don't see it.
Is she too honest?
And that's a different conversation. Yeah, she might be. I think that she thinks that this show is all about being honest, and to a point it is, But you have to ride with one person. So pick the person you like the most. It could change season by season, but you need to pick somebody who, you know, you have a little bit of a truce with.
And don't rat them out.
Yeah, and don't rat them out.
There is such a thing as oversharing.
Mm-hmm.
We got another reply from @whoisthatdiva420.bluesky, who said, from her recent interviews, she says that she wishes she handled things differently and that she may have been oversensitive. So at least she's aware, LOL. But I don't blame her about the rooming situation. I'd be pissed if my friend of 10 years put me in a house with people that I don't get along with. I think she has a point, but also Bronwyn was fighting with Lisa. Her and Lisa aren't on great terms right now.
Right, they aren't. Yeah, I mean, I get where Bronwyn would be a little bit pissed about the fact that she wasn't with Lisa, but first of all, did you really want to be with Lisa? She's kind of, you know, you're not great right now. I actually think that it was a little bit of both on Lisa's part, that she was either sending a message to Bronwyn, but also I do think that trying to find people who can room together and what's the best situation, this probably was it.
I would agree. I understand Bronwyn's feelings being hurt a little bit, but Lisa's thinking about it from her perspective, and she doesn't want to room with anyone she doesn't get along with, and she doesn't have to. She's picking the names.
True. Yes.
Bronwyn literally pissed off Angie and Whitney.
Yes.
So you care more about Brittany than you do about Bronwyn. So the women sit down to dinner on night 1, and Brittany says that she has an announcement.
Oh, good God. Brittany, enough with the announcements. Not everything is announcement worthy.
Well, that's literally what Lisa says. Yeah. There's this collective groan. And Lisa says Brittany needs to stop with the announcements and that she thinks that anything qualifies as an announcement. But the ironic thing here is that this was actually somewhat big news.
Yeah, I know. It was.
She was saying that one of her daughters started speaking to her again, and I think slept overnight at her house. And
yeah.
So it was kind of big news, and no one cared. I think in her confessional, she's just like, ouch.
I think her problem is that she wants everything to be an announcement because people don't, honestly, I don't think really care what she has to say to begin with.
Or listen to her.
Or listen to her. So she has to make sure, like, is everyone listening to me? And if she had just said it in an actual conversation, talking to somebody, like Meredith or whoever was there, like, oh, guess what? You know,
Olivia.
Yeah. She came to spend the night. It was a really big deal, and I'm super excited. Oh, that's great. And then tell everybody one-on-one. When you make this announcement, it's just like, what am I stopping my conversation for to listen to your thing? I'm not going to. It's just, yeah.
So Mar does my favorite kind of petty. She's going to give back the gift she got at her bat mitzvah from Angie.
She's love
re-gift it back to Angie.
I love that. I love giving back a gift.
They show a flashback of Angie screaming as she's getting thrown out of the bat mitzvah, basically saying, I brought a gift, and when you came to my place, you brought me nothing. You came empty-handed. This is how they keep score.
Mm-hmm.
And the gift was shampoo and conditioner from her own salon. How is that really a gift if you get it in bulk?
Right, it's not. It's not a gift.
And it also wasn't a gift that Meredith could use because apparently Meredith does a keratin treatment and it had sulfate in it.
Yeah.
So she couldn't use it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So she said it wasn't very thoughtful. So what does she do? She returns it to Angie. Like, here, give this back to your customers. Use it in your salon.
I love that she brought it all the way to Mexico. Like, it had to go through, like, custom, like, all that stuff. Like, when they checked her suitcase, they're probably like, wow, why is she bringing, like, all the shampoo and conditioner? Just for that. Just to give it back to her there.
The long messiness of it all. So at one point, Brittany keeps piping in because she considers herself part of this conversation because it was about her too. Meredith threw you out because you called me slutty, so I have the right to speak up here.
Yeah.
It was so annoying. It was so annoying.
It It was. Oh,
and
God.
picks up the shampoo and conditioner and literally throws it at Brittany and says, here, you can use it because your hair is fucking fried.
I mean, good on Angie for thinking that quick to give Brittany the shampoo and conditioner, because that is so funny. Brittany, why are you getting into a conversation? Nobody wants to hear your opinion, even if you were part of it. I still don't care. I still don't want to hear.
Well, first it's the high body count hair.
Yeah.
Now it's your hair's fried. It's really affected her because she has come out with all new hair, Brittany. I mean, she was on Watch What Happens Live this week, and it was all new.
Mm-hmm.
So Brittany pipes back in and says she's allowed to speak up because it involves her, and Angie's slut-shaming her for sleeping with 15 guys. Have you noticed anything about the body count number?
It keeps going up. First it was 3, which actually is 3.
It was 3.
So
she said 3.
Yes, 3. Then it went to 10. Now it's to 15.
Yeah. And Brittany's the one. Yes. Brittany is the one that keeps upping that number.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
She keeps upping the number, and she mentioned something about like her tits too, and I'm
Porn
like,
star tits.
I'm like, I didn't hear that ever.
No.
I think she gave herself that label too.
Yeah, I didn't hear it, and I would have remembered that.
I would have remembered it too. So yeah, this is so funny to me. This chick can't recall anything properly at all.
Well, Bronwyn sticks up for Angie and says that the slut-shaming comments actually originated with Brittany that day. And they do a flashback of Brittany outside with Maylee and Bronwyn. And she's talking about Angie and saying if she thinks that I'm sleeping with 3 guys, then she's the one who probably is doing the same thing, her and Sean. Which didn't really make much sense.
It didn't make sense. The whole comment didn't make sense. I just know that it was supposed to be offensive, but I don't know why it was, because really the context didn't make sense at all.
It can't be offensive if you don't understand it.
Right.
So Mar and Angie start talking and working through their issues, and Mar says that she doesn't know if she has the full story or not then, but she's sorry the way it ended with Angie getting thrown out. And Angie apologizes too, and it's actually a great moment.
Yeah.
Again, it's like the apologies with Dorit and Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they were genuine or not, I actually think they were.
Yeah.
I like a good apology.
Mm-hmm.
And this was. Angie was so hurt.
Yeah.
Whether or not she contributed to it.
Yes.
Which she did a ton, a shit ton.
Right.
But she was still very hurt that she was the one that got thrown out when she felt like she was replying to what Brittany said about her and Sean.
Mm-hmm.
But I had tweeted out, you know what I love is everyone will apologize and move on, but still hate Brittany. It's like her standing up with the whole what about me. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Every time they have these fights, Brittany jumps in because she wants to be a part of it. Yeah. And then everybody makes up and it's like, we still hate you.
Right. Because she doesn't know how to get to resolution yet, I don't think. Like with this being, it's very clear that this is her first season.
Right.
Because I don't think she gets that usually at dinner scenes or things like this, like on trips, that they try to make an effort to be okay just for a little bit, and that's part of the show. And I don't think that's really computing in her brain that, like, no, this is what we do. We fight and we move on and we fight, and it's literally just a circle.
Well, I had gotten a reply from @AyanaMonet.BlueSky who said, I hate Brittany, but for some reason, I really want her to come back next season. Every Housewives cast needs a fool, and she is perfect for the role. So what are your thoughts on Brittany?
Oh, 100%. Yes, this is exactly right. Because honestly, everything about her is annoying.
Yes.
Everything.
Yes.
Everything. And I think that it's perfect that she's a friend, so we don't focus necessarily on her completely, because I don't know if I could handle her being a full-time housewife. I don't need to know that much about her.
I think her ego would be out of control if she was full-time.
Right. So I don't need that. She is perfect where she is in the role of a friend of, and I like her there. Who
is she a friend of?
She's a friend of no one, because Heather said I regret bringing her. So She's not anybody's friend. But I know, right? Who is she a friend of? Who would she come back as?
I don't know. You know, she was on Watch What Happens Live, and I swear to God, Andy seemed so annoyed with her, too.
I believe it.
She's just one of those people that I would have to take in small doses. Because
well,
she
my God,
wants
the show
to be,
is only a half hour.
But she wants to be the center of attention on everything.
Yeah.
Even her Instagram and TikTok and all that. She is perfect for this. She is loud and obnoxious and annoying, but interesting to watch.
That's what it is. Yeah, she has to be, in some weird way, I'm interested. And I don't know why I'm interested, because you would think us talking about her that we're not.
Yeah.
And
well, she
I
even said at the dinner about the whole slut shaming, Heather's like, look, it's because you're coming off as a hypocrite why people are annoyed with you.
Yeah.
You say you say you were annoyed with the bottle of wine, yet you drink. You say you don't have a boyfriend, but you're with Jared. And she's like, I am not sleeping with Jared. Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, full stop. What are you talking about? You've been on and off with him for over a year and you haven't slept with him?
Uh-huh.
And she's like, it's nobody's business. But then they do this flashback scene that they hadn't aired where they're in either a dressing room or somewhere and they're trying on lingerie and she's talking about the lingerie that Jared's bought for her.
Right.
And Heather's like, has he seen you in this? And she's like, oh, yeah, he bought me this. Uh-huh. So it couldn't have been a dressing room. It had to be...
the hotel room.
Oh, okay. That's where it was. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, you're so annoying.
Yeah, you're just all over the place. You got to tighten it up, especially because you're on camera now, too, and that's not going to fly.
Yeah.
We can literally look back and see everything you've said.
Right.
So it's not going to, it doesn't work like that. I mean, I am sure most people probably do this, actually. You know, you say one thing and then do something else. Mm-hmm. But this show really holds you accountable for stuff like that. And
so in the sneak peek for next week, it's day 2 in Mexico and the women are on a boat. And Bronwyn drops this bomb saying if the women want to talk about Todd and her marriage, ask her about his infidelity.
Ooh. Yikes.
Yeah. So there was a point where he cheated. I looked up some stuff. There was a point when they lived apart for almost 2 years. Like different states apart.
Oh, really? Yeah. Were they married, though, at the time? Or? Okay.
Yeah. So they've gone through their shit.
Huh. Interesting.
And then we have Lisa and Angie getting into it. Lisa walks away from the table saying she wants to go home. She's kind of upset and calls Angie a lying bitch under her breath. Mm-hmm. How many times can these women fight and make up?
God, I know. It's a lot.
It's the same ones.
I'm shocked that Lisa would say that under her breath, considering the hot mic moment that she had.
Oh my God, she's had her share.
Yeah.
She?
So I don't know.
Well, it seems like Mexico's going to still be coming in hot, you know?
Yeah, for sure. So let's talk about this week's episode of Potomac, and we're kind of going to jump around to the main parts in the episode. Mm-hmm. So the episode opens with Mia doing this obstacle course with her kids.
Her kids are funny.
Yeah, I know. Saying that she might end up in a coma later after.
I know, but at least we'd all be in the hospital together.
As a family.
Cracks me up.
God. So we're going to skip over that. It was super cute. But we'll get to the main points. The first one is a lunch with Stacy, Giselle, and Karen. Mm-hmm. And Karen mentions that she's going to be having a Love Lagoon party. Yeah. Whatever theme that is.
Yeah. So stupid.
And naturally, Stacy's boyfriend, TJ, comes up. I think if Stacy's around, he's going to come up in every conversation.
I can't stand him.
I mean, so basically they're kind of just talking about like how he's in LA right now and like, do you know what he's doing?
Does he have a secret life?
Yeah. Is he doing someone else basically? Like, do you know what's up?
Well, they think he is.
Yes.
And Stacey does not.
Right. Of course she doesn't.
Do you think he is?
Probably. I mean, I definitely think that he has other people out there, other friends, at least seeing somebody. Do I know if he's having sex with them? I don't know. It would make sense.
I mean, Giselle knows. She's got her finger on the pulse of this sort of thing. So she's like, if he's not having sex with you, he's having sex with someone. So, you know.
Well, yeah, Karen said in her confessional, she's like, TJ has a whole life in LA that you don't know about.
Yeah. That's probably hard to hear.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think it is. But yeah, I think that especially Giselle would know what's going on. And it's just kind of like a, hey, heads up here.
Right.
Keep an eye out.
Exactly.
Then we'll move to Wendy inviting everyone to a clothing store because she said she has an announcement. Mm-hmm. Which we know that saying that you have an announcement, just based off of previous shows, Salt Lake, I mean, that usually saying you have an announcement isn't, you know, the way to go. But this one actually ends up being a decent announcement. And it's that the cast trip is in Panama this year.
Well, it was decent for everybody but Kiarna. She doesn't want to go to Panama. Kiarna wants to go to Europe cities.
Yeah, it was so funny.
Okay.
Yeah, you had posted on Blue Sky, Kiarna is disappointed in going to Panama. She wants to go to Europe cities. Tell me you've never left the country without telling me you've never left the country. Right. And you got a response back from Queen Bunny Bean, who said, big Europe cities, I rolled my eyes so hard. Then she says Italy, not even Rome or Venice or an actual city. Just picks a country in Europe.
Oh my God, that was so funny.
It really was funny. So yeah, they're going to Panama. I think we'll get to that next episode or in the next two.
Yeah, probably.
So the cast trip gets announced, and also Karen invites everybody, all the ladies, to her Love Lagoon party, except Jacqueline.
In fact, Mia is not bringing Gordon, and oh my God, Grace Ink's getting an award.
I know, an award. I can't believe nobody asked about that. That nobody said what award. Either nobody cared or it was just, you know.
What award? I don't know. Best DJ? Best DJ in town.
I know.
I mean,
yes.
Who knows? But anyway, so Mia was not going to that. So she asks Karen if she can bring Jacqueline. And Karen says no.
Actually, Mia doesn't even get the sentence out. And Karen just says no. She just cuts her off.
Oh my God.
And then Mia goes to her at the clothing store, Jacqueline, and says, yeah, no, you can't. Like, it's not going to work.
It's a no-go.
Yeah, no, you can't come. Sorry.
And Karen hears her and says,
yells
again,
across.
You're not invited. She doubles down right in front of her face. Oh my God. Jacqueline is the punching bag. She really is.
Oh, yeah.
It's so funny.
Uh-huh. It is funny. So, yeah, that happens at the clothing store. Also, Stacy is very excited by thongs. You would think that she had never, like, heard of them before. Was that not weird?
She acts like they're for special occasions or something. It's like a lot of women, you know, wear them every day.
Yeah.
So
that was weird too.
Yeah, so that was just weird that she's like all excited that she might wear a thong.
Yeah, like, oh my God, you're gonna wear a thong and I'm gonna wear a thong. Like you're 12 or 15 or you know.
Thong sisters.
Yeah, it's just so funny.
Yeah, it was weird.
She's so pure.
She really is. She's sent from heaven.
Yeah. So let's move on to the Love Lagoon party. Okay. And it starts by the mermaids walking in, who Ray was very interested in getting to know.
Oh my God. He must have made 10 comments about those mermaids. Like, what the hell?
I've never seen him move so fast.
I know, to get up out of his chair. I was like, whoa. Oh, God.
So all the women kind of and the men start coming in, rolling in, and they're all just kind of talking. But then they get to a game that Karen wants to play. And right off the bat, Karen reads the first question, which is, do you feel like your partner has ever cheated?
I mean, I looked at you and I'm like, half these people have to say yes.
Yes. I know. A lot of them that everybody in the group already knows. So It's not even like anything is like this revelation. It's like, are you going to be honest and say that you did?
Well, I actually looked at you and I'm like, Jazzy needs to come clean because she's like, not only has your man cheated, but he's cheated with you. You were the other woman.
I know, right? Yeah. I know. And then everybody was kind of waiting to hear Karen's answer because I have never heard or seen, well, I've heard that she has cheated on Ray because all the women imply that, but I have never seen anything like be confirmed. Have you ever seen that?
No, nothing substantial.
Okay. Yeah.
No. The rumors were mostly from Robin. So.
And Charisse, I saw, who I don't give
and
really anything.
And they were both cheated on by their spouses. So
yeah, I know.
I don't really.
Which is so funny that Robin cares because it's like, dude, you're with Juan who cheated on you and you married him again and you're going to be like, Karen's the problem?
I know.
Sorry, now we're moving into Robin.
Yeah, we reel it in.
I know. So everybody's kind of answering this question. Mia says that she has. And then I love how Stacy's like, wait, we're not all gonna talk about that? We're not gonna go back to that?
She quietly answered yes and then passed the card.
Yeah, I think because everybody knew already that everybody might have heard her and just like, yep, okay, we know. Let's keep going on. And Stacy just was like, what?
Well, what I thought was really kind of interesting was Stacy literally called out Karen and Giselle and said, well, I don't think you're cheating, TJ, but Karen and Giselle think you are. They think you have a whole life in LA and someone on the side.
Yeah.
That was like ballsy.
And then he answers, yeah, I do.
I know.
What?
I don't get it.
Right.
I completely didn't understand his point. Is he saying, yeah, I do, but then making it a joke like, yes, but my person I'm sleeping with is Bugs Bunny?
Yeah, I have absolutely no idea why he said that in front of a group of people. Why would you not be like, no, I mean, I have other friends in LA, but no, I'm here and we're good. And I'm not sleeping with other people. And I'm not in a relationship.
I hate him.
You never say the right thing. Everything that you're supposed to say, you never do. And I feel like he knows the right thing to say and he purposely says the opposite.
He's being ambiguous.
Yeah.
Because he's guilty of shit. So he can't answer truthfully and he's not going to flat out lie. So he makes it into some stupid joke.
Right. And it's like, we're trying to talk to you and include you and we don't want to. Like we're not into this. This is not working.
Keep looking at you when we're watching this and saying to you, she is so pretty.
Yeah.
She's so pretty. This woman can get anybody she wants, and she's with this clown.
I know. Not only is she incredibly pretty, she's incredibly kind.
Yes.
And nice. And why him? I don't understand it.
I can't stand him. I can't. Oh, God, it's so frustrating.
So after that question, the next question that gets posed was, are you dominant or submissive in the bedroom? And everybody kind of keeps, you know where I'm going with it too. Because the one answer that stuck out the most to me was Mia's. And she's like, oh, well, with Gordon, I was dominant. And then with Ink, I'm more, submissive. He likes to choke me. And everybody's like, oh, okay, and then... And then Giselle and Karen had their own comments. Basically, that he's so short and that's how he likes to grab her, because he can only grab her by the neck.
Yeah, Giselle's like, he's got to hold on. So he grabs her neck. And Karen, I think, mentioned 12 apple boxes. And then, or those jumpy things that he jumps on and he flings himself across the room and she goes, pew! I'm sorry. I know that it's not kind, the whole short stuff. There's lots, you cannot, that's the one thing you can't change about yourself is your height. You are what you are. And he is very short. So I can't help it. It is so funny to me.
Funny. Because they're slightly clever.
Yes.
So it's mean.
Right.
But it has a little bit of a, cleverness and thought outness a little bit. So that's, I think, why it's so funny. But yeah, it was absolutely hilarious.
Oh my God, he probably hates it.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that you have to take your pictures from different angles to make it look like, Yeah, it's not great.
No. Oh my God. Every time they say something about it, I just crack up. It's funny.
So everybody's laughing and having a good time now at this point. And then you start hearing the Jaws music start. And you're like, oh, okay. And then we see the deer in another scene, too.
They love to call back that deer.
Yes.
The deer callback.
And Jacqueline shows up and with her 8 balloons for Karen's 8 citations.
I thought we were going to see that. I'm disappointed. I really hate when the sneak peek is not in the next episode.
Yeah, I know. It's like,
don't do that to us. Don't play with us.
Especially when it was so heavily relied on that, the sneak peek. Like, oh, that's what we're going to see.
Yeah.
Like, and then you give us the to be continued.
Not cool.
So
we don't get to see Jacqueline thrown out.
Oh, I know. It's going to be funny, though. Do you think Mia will go with her?
No. God, no.
She'll probably be the one to kick her out.
Thanks for listening to episode 31 of Nice-ish. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Threads, or Blue Sky at Nice-ish Podcast or Love Cindy C. You can listen to Nice-ish wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. Look for new episodes every Monday. Thank you for listening and have a nice-ish day.